they make it look like Cruz has already been found guilty.
I think this case is getting a lot of publicity now. Wait till the trial gets in full gear.
Well, it says it starts today. Eve must be a nervous wreck.
I don't think I'd want all that Capwell money with all the problems they've been having lately.
I gotta call her. I have to let her know that we're thinking of her. She's been such a good friend to me.
Look, Mel. Yeah, I've managed to cultivate a few friendships down at City Hall, yeah. And I bet you I could probably get those permits that you need this afternoon. No, look, man, if I'm going to stick my neck up for you like that, I want a little reciprocation, you know what I mean? No. I'm talking in terms of my client, Jake Morton. What are you talking about, man? He'd be great. He'd be terrific. You can handle that. Come on. Huh? Now, look, we got a deal or what? All right. All right, great. Later, babe. Glad to see you two. You're right in time for a little celebration breakfast.
Oh, yeah? What are we celebrating?
Your boyfriend here is all set. You got that part in the picture, Jake.
Mandy, can't you understand? Steve isn't married to me anymore. He's married to the ocean. His heart isn't in our home. It's 20 leagues under the sea. But I still love him. I've lost him. I've lost him, Mandy, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, this stinks. I'm married to the ocean? Who is it?
Special delivery.
Hi.
Victoria Capwell,
Yes.
this is for you.
A subpoena?
You're being called to testify in the Castillo trial.
No, there's got to be a mistake. You know, my husband is defending Cruz Castillo. He would have
You
told me
aren't
if
being called for the defense, Mrs. Capwell. You're a witness for the prosecution.
Miss Capwell, is it true that you and the accused, Cruz Castillo, are engaged to be married?
Yes.
Would you excuse us, please? Thank you.
Are you here to support Cruz Castillo?
Of course I'm here to support him.
Then you don't think he's a murderer?
He is innocent. Not only do I believe that, I'm willing to stake my life on it.
No, the only person whose life is on the line here is Cruz Castillo's.
Mr. Timmons, are you confident of this conviction?
Yes, I am. I'm confident that Cruz Castillo will be found guilty as charged. Excuse me, I have to go into a public service.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Mason, the place is swarming with reporters. Is there something you can do to get in and out of here without being barraged by questions?
Sorry, Dad. It's Keith's domain. You know what his answer to any of our requests would be.
Cruz.
I think you misunderstood. I mean, I couldn't have the part, you know?
Oh, what are you talking about? Who's the agent here, pal? I'm telling you, you're all set.
How could it be said? I haven't even auditioned for it.
I just got off the phone with Mel Stockman. He's very hot for you.
What do you mean, hot?
No. I don't mean hot like that. I mean, he thinks you're a great find and perfect for the part.
Wait a minute, so why did he change his mind?
Oh, what's the difference?
Well, he told Jake and I yesterday that he doesn't have a lot of money or time to spend on the film. So now why is he willing to take such a risk?
Haley, you know the old saying about the gift horse, right?
I also know what they say about strangers bearing gifts.
Ah. All right, Jake, I gotta tell you, you're very lucky to have somebody that looks out for your interests like this little lady here. I guess the way I figure it, Mel took a look at Jake's build, you know, his look, and figured him up on the screen would add a lot to the picture, right? I mean, what, a lot of guys have started their career like that. Look at Sly Stallone.
Sly Stallone wrote his own movie and had to fight to get into it.
Just what's your beef anyway, Haley? I mean, don't you have any confidence in Jake or what?
No, wait a minute. I have plenty of confidence in Jake. I know he can do whatever he puts his mind to.
So he'll put his mind to doing this picture, right? He'll rehearse it a few times, and with Mel's help, he'll be terrific in it. Right, Jake? Huh?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I kind of get tense when I say the lines.
Oh, man, look, if you do the lines terrible, they'll dub you. I mean, they do that all the time.
Dub? That's not Jake.
I mean, sure, it's still Jake. It's still Jake up there on the screen. Everybody came to see him.
TJ, this is a craft we're talking about. Acting is a craft. It takes a lot of time and work to do. I was talking to Victoria about it today.
Look, Jake, ultimately the decision is yours, okay? Now, you can't afford to blow a shot like this, man. What do you say?
You really don't think I can do it?
No, I'm not saying that. I know you would be great. I just want you to feel ready to do whatever you decide to do.
Well, look, if you believe in me, I can do it. I can do anything.
Cruz,
Keith, would you mind if I talk to him for a minute?
Hi. You know, I was kind of hoping that you wouldn't come.
Yeah, I had to be here.
Yeah, well,
You know, I talked with Pearl, and Carmen's not going to be coming. He didn't think it would be best.
well, that's good. This is the last thing my little sister needs to see.
Oh, well, you better get used to looking at me because I'm going to be here every day till this trial ends.
Darling, I love looking at you. You know that. I just hate the idea of what you're going to have to listen to in this room.
Well, I won't listen. Besides, when I'm with you, it's like the two of us are just alone.
Mason, really, what honestly do you think his chances are?
Well, Julie and I have enough arguments to disprove any circumstantial evidence that Keith has.
Son, that is not what she asked you.
I think it's ridiculous for Mason or I to make any predictions at this point.
Are you too sure you know what's going on, what you're doing?
Dad, this isn't a business meeting where everything can be bought and sold.
Would it be so wrong if I brought somebody in to help you?
Your money can't take care of everything, Dad.
Won't you just try to think about what you're saying
I'm
for once?
just thinking of Cruz is all I'm trying to do.
Cece, I know you're under a lot of pressure right now because of your testimony. But Mason happens to be the finest attorney that I have ever worked with. And I think I'm pretty good, too. We are giving our best, and your money can't buy better than that. And if we have our way, Cruz will walk out of this courtroom a free man.
Son, I didn't mean to downgrade your ability. I just thought that... I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking, that's all.
We're all under a lot of pressure, Dad. Finest attorney you've ever known?
I stretched it a bit for your father's sake. Don't get a big head.
You know, we may be on rather shaky ground with this, but thanks to you, I'm going into it with a great deal of confidence.
Let's be Timmins, and then we'll exchange compliments.
We have more than enough to nail him, but I think I'd like to drag this out. You know, I wouldn't mind a little in-depth interview with a redhead number out there and more in the news. I hope they keep this Romeo and Juliet stuff up. Press is gonna eat it up with a spoon. Go get it.
Mason?
Ted, the judge is coming
Yeah,
in
I
any
know.
minute.
Look, Victoria's out in the hallway. She kind of needs to talk to you.
I can't just walk out of a courtroom.
I know, but she's kind of in a wreck. You should talk to her if you
It's
can.
all right, Mason. Go ahead.
Victoria, the trial is about to start. Did Keith question you before he sent this?
No, of course not. I would have told you. Listen, he wants me as a witness for the prosecution.
I can read.
Well, can you get me out of it?
No?
Mason, why can't you get
Believe
me
me,
out
I
of it?
would if I could, Victoria. It would probably only make Keith think you have something to hide.
I do have something to hide. What if he knows about Chip?
Victoria, don't have him mention that
He could
outside the
ask
home.
me that on the witness stand.
He couldn't possibly know.
Well, then why else would he have me here? I wasn't anywhere near the murder.
Victoria, don't...
Well, the residence movie star of Santa Barbara. Darling, I've been reading the paper. I saw your movie in there. Sounds very artistic. And it was ebb tide, wasn't it?
Beached.
I hope you're not coaching my witness. Your client is in there, you know.
I know exactly what you're up to, Timmons.
I bet you do. Listen, could you wear something a little low cut, you know, for the male jurors?
Mason,
I'm sorry, Victoria. Judge Larson is ready to come into the courtroom. We need you in there.
Mason, what am I going to do?
Just go home. I'll call you at the next recess.
I've got to go to rehearsal. I can't go home.
Well, then go to your rehearsal, and I'll see you when I get there.
Mason, please.
I'm coming.
All rise. Santa Barbara Superior Court is now in session. The Honorable Monica Larson presiding.
Well, you drive a hard bargain, but you got your boy a deal, TJ. Well, I promise you won't be sorry. Jake's going to do a great job for you, huh?
Yeah,
Believe me. I think this guy's going to be your next Robert Redford, huh?
I'll be happy just to get through this.
Hey, don't even worry about that, all right? I got a great reputation for relaxing people on camera.
I guess it's into the frying pan now, huh?
Well, I'm happy for you. This is what you want.
That's what he wants. What, are you kidding me? What red-blooded all-American man doesn't want to be in the movies, right?
Well, I don't know. I always thought it'd be a little more difficult to get into a movie than this.
Well, sure, if it was a big role and all that, of course, we'd have to do a test and everything, but this is going to be a nice little showcase for Jaco, even though it's still a minor role. But he's going to have enough screen time to show off his talent, right? Oh, right, yeah. Listen, I'm gonna get a contract over for Jake to sign later, okay? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, instead I'll stick around and then I'll watch you draw it up and take it over to Jake myself. Okay. And by the way, there's that permit you were talking about earlier? Oh, terrific. Good work. Good work. You're a man who knows how to make things happen, huh? Hey, Jake, you're lucky to be managed by a guy like TJ.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't have pushed myself the way he's been doing it.
Well, listen, I know how things happen here in Hollywood, okay? And with TJ's savvy behind you, who knows? Who knows? You could even become a star.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what we have here is, in part, just a sad story. It suddenly occurred to me, it's a lot like Romeo and Juliet, a couple of tragic lovers who would have died for each other. It parallels the relationship of Cruz Castillo and Eden Capwell a lot. Castillo, like Romeo, thought he'd lost his Juliet. She had an accident. She went to Utah and got in a plane crash. And we've seen the devastating effects before us of that accident. Now, our sympathies go out to her, but you can in no way allow your sympathy to cloud your vision of justice. Now, at the same time, Cruz Castillo displayed a flagrant disregard for his own life. On at least 2 occasions, we know that Mr. Castillo put himself in grave danger. And it was also at this time that the real victim, Elena Nicholas, entered the picture. Now, Elena was a beautiful, determined woman. She just didn't know at the time that her determination would cause her own death. I have a picture over here. It was taken just after she entered Mr. Castillo's private detective agency, ironically called The Last Resort. You can see Mr. Castillo there. I mean, he's a healthy, virile man who has a man's needs, and we all know that grief alone can't deaden a man's needs. We have a testimony of 2 people that Elena, and these 2 people, one of them, Mr. Castillo's sister, the other, Pearl Bradford, testified that Elena Nicholas offered herself to Cruz Castillo. Now, I ask you, looking at that picture, would Romeo himself, if he were alive today, turn down this woman? I think not. I will be able to prove that Cruz Castillo and Elena Nicholas did have an affair. And then something happened. Something strange happened. Something miraculous happened. Like Juliet, Eden Capwell returned from the dead. Now, I would imagine anyone would think that they would get together and live happily ever after as soon as she crossed the city limits. But that's not what happened. No, she wouldn't move in with him. She wanted to live at her father's house. Mr. Castillo, on his part, of course, dumped Elena Nicholas. Elena, of course, was quite upset about this, but he wouldn't go back to her. She tried hard, but it was to no avail. Now, what we have here is, there's no crime. No right, no wrong. Just the passions of three people. Cruz, Eden, and Elena. Elena, she threatened to tell Eden of the passionate affair that she'd had with Cruz. Well, Cruz, remembering all the suffering he went through when he thought Eden was dead, he couldn't face the fact of life without her. So what did he do? He picked up a gun. He went over to the Laser Palace. Eden was in his life again. Elena Nicholas was trying to destroy that. He took the gun and he shot her, and she was dead. It was a murder of premeditation. It was a murder in cold blood. It was a murder in the first degree. And for that crime, the state of California asks the ultimate penalty. Death. In the gas chamber.
The prosecution has prepared a palette comprised of misrepresentations, exaggerations, distortions, and lies in an attempt to paint a picture of Cruz Castillo as a man who would commit murder. He also made reference to William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet and proceeded to tell a story about Eden Capwell and Cruz Castillo that was equally as fictional. He mentioned no evidence because he has none. There is no evidence that Cruz Castillo had an affair with Elena Nicholas. There is no evidence that Elena Nicholas threatened Cruz Castillo, and there is no evidence that Cruz Castillo pulled the trigger of the weapon that killed Elena Nicholas. Mr. Timmons would have us believe that a man with Mr. Castillo's record of courage, honesty, and integrity, a man dedicated to the protection of life, not the destruction of it, would resort to murder. As for Mr. Timmons' claims of an affair between Cruz Castillo and Elena Nicholas, Cruz Castillo was as faithful to Eden Capwell when he presumed her dead as he had been in the months preceding her tragic accident. In spite of every effort on the part of Ms. Nicholas, Cruz Castillo never succumbed to her advances. My colleague, Julia Wainwright, and I will present evidence proving that Elena Nicholas was a strange and manipulative woman, a woman who resorted to acts of violence on more than one occasion, a woman who came to Santa Barbara under an assumed name with revenge as her agenda. When the jury is made aware of the atrocities committed by Ms. Nicholas, it will come as no surprise to them that she herself met with a violent end. Now, the prosecution has made it obvious that they intend to present any sordid detail they can manufacture in order to construct a triangle that never, ever existed. The prosecution also made reference to a tragedy having taken place. Ladies and gentlemen, the tragedy is taking place, and that is the tragedy of a good and honest man being publicly vilified for a crime there is not one iota of real evidence that he committed. The defense will show clearly, concisely, and conclusively that Cruz Castillo is the one man in Elena Nicholas's twisted life who would not, could not, and did not kill her.
All right? Listen, everything is going to work out fine. It's going to be all right, okay? I want you to know that I'm going to be here with you all the time and help you get through this thing, okay? And I have a little something that's going to help you.
Mel, you know, I didn't come here for that. I just came, you know, to rehearse and get some notes, and I got to get back to the courthouse. I should be with my family, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you're an extraordinary, extraordinary woman, Tori. I mean, here you have your own very important career right in front of you, and you're concerned about your husband and your family. I really admire you for that.
Thanks. Thanks.
I just hope your husband appreciates what a wonderful wife he's got.
Well, you know, he's a good man. He really is.
Yeah. Yeah, he must be. Listen, Tori, apart from all the compassion that I have for you right now, what you're going through, I need for you to remember that I've got a lot of money riding on this film. I know you're a professional. It's very vital for you to stay on top of it all the time.
Oh, I will. I will. You can count on me, okay? I will.
I know you'll try. I know you'll try, sweetheart. I know you'll try, but I just want you to remember that if you're feeling depressed or down about what's going on with the trial and everything, I just want you to understand that you can come to me, okay? All right? Because I'm always going to have the cure for your blues.
As chief medical examiner, you performed the autopsy on Miss Nicholas.
That's correct.
Could you tell how long she lived after she was shot?
Objection, Your Honor. The district attorney is asking the witness to speculate.
Overruled. This is within the witness's expertise.
Thank you for a brilliant and gracious ruling, Your Honor.
Mr. Timmons.
Would you please answer the question, Dr. Quintero?
Judging by the lesion we saw in the pulmonary artery, the victim would have been expected to expire within minutes.
Could she live long enough to make a dying declaration?
Well, that's certainly possible. With a strong enough motivation, we've seen cases of amazing strength in dying persons.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. There's one more thing I'm wondering about. From powder burns, you can tell a lot, say, like the distance from which the victim was shot.
Well, not just powder burns, but with the size of the exit wound.
So you could tell how far the gun was from the body when she was shot. I mean, we know it's a short distance of 3 feet, 2 feet, 6 inches.
Well, judging by the size of the exit wound, I would say that the gun had to be fired from extremely close range.
Closer than 6 inches?
I believe so. I believe the gun was pressed against the side of her body and fired.
Execution style.
Objection.
I withdraw the question.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine?
Not at this time, Your Honor, but we would like the right to recall this witness at another time.
So noted. Mr. Timmons.
I'd like to call Eden Capwell to the stand.
You know, this is crazy. I just can't believe I'm actually going to be in a movie.
Well, I'm happy for you.
I mean, it just goes to show you with a little faith, you can really make things happen.
That's all it takes.
Well, yeah, that and a little luck.
Oh, luck can't hurt anybody. And excitement, you can't help but be excited. I just think you have to keep in mind that maybe this is just a short-term thing.
How come I get the feeling you aren't too happy about that?
No, Jake, I am. I really am. I just don't want you to set yourself up to be disappointed.
Haley, do you have something against me trying out for this acting thing, or?
No.
Kitty kids, kitty kids, kitty kids. Here it is right here in black and white. All you have to do is sign on the dotted line.
You, read this over, right?
Absolutely. Just a standard contract. It promises you 1 full day in Beached. You get your name in the end credits, and you get $1,500 for a day's work. Now, you maybe get more if you go overtime, which is great because in the land of showbiz, there's a lot of overtime. Now, all I got to do is get cut my 10%. We're set. No?
All right, sounds good to me.
All right. Even signed his name right. It's my boy. That's the kind of congratulations I like to see.
Well, I guess I should start studying my lines or something, right?
Oh, you got plenty of time for that, man. Listen, Jake, you just stick with me, partner. Next time, your name is going to be in the opening credits, and right after that, on top of the title, babe. Remember what Mel said? I'm the man that's going to put you on top and make you a star.
Yeah. So, when is Jake's scene being filmed?
I guess it starts in about a week or so.
Good, that'll give you plenty of time to work with that coach.
We need an acting coach for. We already got the job.
That's all you think about, isn't it, TJ? You really don't care what his career is going to be like, how he looks on the screen. He's just a product to you that you can push and make more money.
Look, Haley, I don't think you understand.
No, I don't think friends are to use other friends.
All right, listen to me, okay? I mean, I want this guy to do real good. I mean, yeah, I care about the money, okay, sure. But I care about a whole lot more than $150. I mean, I want him to do great in this picture so he makes a lot of money and then helps make me make a lot of money, all right? I care about this guy. I really do. I mean, what's the problem here? I try to do a friend a favor and everybody's biting my head off.
Give me a break, TJ. You don't care about anybody but yourself.
Oh, you must have felt sorry for me. Most of you, you must have thought I was a fool. Poor Beth, she must have known. She must have realized that you don't love her anymore. Well, I didn't know. I trusted you, Steve. I trusted both of you. I guess I thought that you were above a cheap affair. It's all it's ever going to be, a cheap affair between a liar and a tramp.
Hey, what's the matter, sweetheart?
I can't do this. I can't.
What do you mean? You were into it. You were wonderful.
No, I got distracted. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. It's not like it's going to play on the beach. I understand that.
No. Listen, I'm just thinking about what's going on at the courtroom, and I'm sorry. I lost my concentration.
All right, look,
Now I can't...
honey, look, I'm not going to argue with you, all right? But your concentration was absolutely terrific. It was terrific. I mean, you were reading that scene like you were living it. Honey, you're going to be terrific in this role.
Mel, I don't know anymore.
What do you mean I don't know, Mel? Hey, what happened to all that confidence you had a little while ago?
I lost it somewhere. I'm absolutely confused.
All right, listen. Come here. I want you to sit down here. Just sit down a second, and I want you to relax right here. Take a sip of this, and we'll let these magic fingers go to work, okay? Ooh, baby, you are tense. I just want you to try and relax, okay?
You know, Mel, I feel really tired, you know. I need something to wake me up.
You want me to have some coffee sent up?
No, I need something stronger. Something to give me a little confidence.
It's okay, babes. It's all right. I don't want you to worry about a thing, okay? All right? You're my star, and I'm gonna take care of you, all right? Real good care of you.
So it was for over 3 months that everybody in Santa Barbara thought you were dead.
Yes.
And all this time up in the mountains, there was no way for you to contact your friends and family and your fiancé and tell them you were alive?
It would have been difficult.
But not impossible.
No.
Well, then, would you please explain to the court why you wanted your fiancé and your family to think you were dead?
There was a lot of snow in the mountains. It was almost impossible to contact anyone. I was hurt. I couldn't walk. I had read a newspaper article where my family and my fiancé thought I was dead. Look, it's impossible for me to go over and tell you what was going on in my mind at the time. I mean, I can't even tell you. I just didn't want to hurt anybody.
Now, least of all, your fiancé. Well, you're up in the mountains. Did you stop loving him?
No.
No? You didn't stop loving him? Did you just start loving him less?
No.
So, well, let me guess here. I think that maybe that it was because of your handicap that you wanted him to think that you were dead.
Yes. I was foolish. I had thought I couldn't lead a productive life if I was unable to walk. I know that that's not true now. But the reason I didn't want to come back to Santa Barbara was because I was afraid I would be a burden to him.
Mm-hmm. And you knew that he would accept you, marry you with his handicap because he loved you that much.
Yes.
And Mr. Castillo is a virile man with sexual needs that need to be met, and you, perhaps with your disability, with half of your body being paralyzed, you didn't think you could satisfy these needs.
I never...
Objection, Your Honor. Badgering the witness.
I'm badgering the witness? I'm not badgering the witness. I'm simply trying to establish the defendant's need of a woman. It is crucial to the state's case.
Objection overruled. Answer the question, Miss Capwell.
I don't remember the question.
Well, then I'll rephrase the question for you. When you were up in the mountains, the reason you didn't come to Santa Barbara was because you were afraid you couldn't satisfy the defendant's sexual needs, yes or no?
Yes, but there was a
And
lot
when you
more...
got back to Santa Barbara, you found out that you were right about the defendant's sexual needs.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, okay. Then let's retrace your steps here. You came back to Santa Barbara. What was the first place you went to? And remember, you're under oath.
I went to the beach house.
The defendant's beach house?
Yes.
Was he there?
No.
Where'd you go next?
to his office.
The agency
Yes.
here, you're right. Was it, I mean, you had a reunion there. Is that what happened? A tearful reunion? Was he there?
No.
Well, where did you go next?
To the hotel.
Oh, is this the hotel that Elena Nicholas was
Yes.
at? Yes, right.
Yes,
yeah, that's
I
a
went to her
coincidence,
room.
isn't it?
I went to her room.
To see your fiancé.
Yes.
Was he there?
No.
All right, well, then where did this magic moment happen when you met him? Where was he?
I went back to the beach house and I saw him there.
And the two of you had a tearful, joyful reunion.
No.
Why not?
I just didn't think it was the right time.
Oh, well, so then you saw him, but he didn't see you. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes.
Was he alone?
No.
Oh, please, let me guess this. Who was... I guess that he was with Elena Nicholas. Am I correct?
Yes.
And you had come all this way from the mountains of Utah, from the dead, to go back into life with your fiancé. I mean, you were highly motivated. You were dying to get back to him. Now what in the world could Elena Nicholas and Cruz Castillo be doing that could have stopped you?
Objection, Your Honor.
I see no grounds for an objection here. Answer the question, Mr.
I'll state it again. What was Cruz Castillo and Elena Nicholas doing that stopped you?
Kissing, I think.
Kissing, you think? Getting ready to make love?
No. Elena was the one...
What was she doing? She was forcing him? Forcing Cruz Castillo to kiss her in his own home? Is that what you're saying?
No, I ran away. I didn't really see what happened. I was gone.
You were gone before they started to make love, right?
Objection, Your Honor. It calls for speculation. The witness has already stated that she left. What may or may not have happened then is speculation.
Sustained.
Oh, well, I'll rephrase the question. Did you think that Cruz Castillo and Elena Nicholas were going to make love?
I don't know. I just...
Oh, come on! If you didn't think that, then why didn't you move in with your father? The relationship was over because he was having an affair with Elena Nicholas. You gave him the choice. He had to take the choice. He chose you, so he married Elena Nicholas.
No!
He wanted Elena Nicholas to have you!
Objection!
No further questions.
First of all, Miss Capwell, I'd like to give you a chance to answer one of the questions Mr. Timmons asked you. Why did you move back into your family's home when you returned to Santa Barbara?
When I came back to Santa Barbara, I had managed to walk with a cane. But I fell and I hurt myself. I had to go to the hospital. All the doctors that were called in said that I would never walk again.
And you were again reluctant to inflict your disability on your fiancé.
Yes.
When did you realize the disability was no longer an issue?
There was an incident where Cruz was almost killed. I couldn't bear the thought of living without him. I just couldn't stay away from him.
You never stopped loving him.
Never.
Did you ever believe that he was having an affair with Elena Nicholas?
No. She came to me and she told me that she wanted him. She basically told me to step aside. I know in my heart and in my mind that he has always been loyal to me. Even thinking I was dead, he was loyal to me. I will never, ever love anyone else. Never.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would like a chance for a quick redirect.
Go ahead, Mr. Timmons.
Well, I have to say I'm quite moved by your testimony, Miss Capwell. A love like you and Cruz Castillo, what you've had is certainly different in this day and age.
Your Honor.
I'm getting the question now, Miss Capwell. How long have you and Cruz Castillo been in love?
At least 3 years.
Well, you're both very lucky. 3 years? Well, I see. And you just testified under oath that Mr. Castillo will be loyal to you and your love even after he thought you were dead.
Yes.
Well, then this information I have here must be faulty in some way. I mean, a little over a year ago, Mr. Castillo, your lover unto death, was married to Santana Andrade. Did they give me the wrong dates here?
No.
Well, I also have a statement here that was witnessed by several people, yourself included, I believe, and it's a statement Miss Andrade made and Mr. Castillo confirmed. Miss Andrade, you said, and pardon the language, but this is a quote. "You love my body, Cruz. When you made love to me, you told me how much you love my body and how beautiful my breasts are. Isn't that true, Cruz?" End of quote. Mr. Castillo responded, "Yes, I love your body. You have beautiful breasts."
Objection.
I suppose they could have been just friends.
Objection, Your Honor. The accused was under duress at the time.
Strike Mr. Timmons' statement from the record.
No more questions.
I'm sorry I made you angry.
You didn't make me angry. I just wish you hadn't yelled at TJ that way.
What is with defending TJ? You didn't trust him in the beginning either.
Yeah, I know that, but he did get me the part in the movie. Haley, look, I'm grateful for everything that you've done for me, and I love you. You know that. But I don't need you to fight my battles for me or to decide their battles when there shouldn't be any.
I am just trying to assure you you don't owe TJ anything. He hasn't done you any big favors. Jake, I don't like the way he manipulates people.
Haley, I just think you're overreacting here.
Okay. All right, I will drop the subject, but just remember, when it comes to TJ, you have to be careful because I don't want to see you get hurt.
Would both counsels please approach the bench?
You like that Santana? I thought that was good.
You're a real genius, Timmons. Mr. Capwell, I had reservations, but I allowed you to question your sister, and you handled it very well. However, I see now that your wife has been called as a witness for the prosecution, and, well, I cannot permit you to question her. Miss Wainwright will have to conduct any defense questioning of Mrs. Capwell. I'm assuming, of course, that that's agreeable to you, Mr. Timmons.
Oh, Your Honor, I think it's a brilliant solution. And may I say, I think the way you've conducted this trial has been...
Court will be adjourned until 9:50.
All rise.
Are you all right?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to let you down.
You didn't let me down. Everybody in this courtroom knows what you ever against you did a nice job. So
I couldn't have done it if I couldn't have looked at you.
Really, I want to know what it is. Let's go.
I love you.
Give me a second, man. Give me a second.
I love you.
Get your hands off me! Oh, man.
I think I should go out and talk to Eden. I don't think she should be alone right now.
I think it's a good idea after what she's been through today.
Jen, I don't understand how someone like Keith Timmons could even stay in office that way.
Well, he made a fool out of Mason.
That's not true, Dad.
He didn't make a fool out of Mason. He made a fool out of himself by trying to drag this trial through the gutter, and it's going to blow up in his face.
I wanted to hit him so bad when he was firing those questions at her. Gets me so crazy.
Well,
that
at least
guy.
she's gone through the worst of it. She doesn't have to testify again.
Julia?
Hi, Cece. Hello.
Hi. Mason and I made up a list of questions that we think Keith will ask you tomorrow when you testify.
Why did Mason bring it over himself?
Because he had to go home and calm down Victoria.
What's wrong with Victoria?
I'm afraid she was subpoenaed to testify as a witness for the prosecution.
Oh, for crying out loud. If he gets her on the witness stand, he'll tear her apart.
No, they won't. She'll do fine.
Look, you've got to get Mason to keep her from going on the stand.
Cece, there's nothing Mason or anybody else can do at this point. She was subpoenaed, and she either testifies or she goes to jail for contempt. Keith is calling the tune now, and as you can see from the courtroom today, he's enjoying the dance.
I can't believe you couldn't have pulled some strings to get me out of this, Mason.
Victoria, I told you we can't do anything to
Listen,
make
don't you? You
peace.
could have sent me out of town, Mason.
What?
Look, if you had cared about me at all, you would have foreseen this was going to happen. You would have sent me out of town until it was all over.
Well, I'm sorry. My crystal ball was in the shop.
Oh, okay, that's all right. I can handle Keith.
He'll chew you up the same way he did Eden.
How that's a vote of confidence, isn't it?
Mr. Barracuda, you saw the way he was in court today.
No, the thing is, he'll start the line of questioning, and then Julia will start to question me, and everything is going to be okay.
Why are you suddenly so cheerful about this? You were a wreck when you got me out of the courtroom today.
Darling, when you don't know what's going to happen, you just have to go with the flow.
Go with the... This isn't a scene out of Witness for the Prosecution, Victoria.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have made a good Dietrich anyway. Anyway, the play's the thing we're in to catch the conscience of the king.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Oh, sweetheart, come on now, stop being so grumpy. I can handle Keith. And maybe this time I'll give him a bit of his own back, okay?
Cruz? Cruz? Cruz.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw, Wall Street continues to tremble from the aftershocks of its colossal downfall. Can President Reagan calm the fears of this nation and the world? We'll find out tonight. We'll also have pictures from the Persian Gulf on the latest missile attack, this time against Kuwait. And 25 years ago, the world was at the brink of nuclear war, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Garrett Utley takes a look back tonight on NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.